Do you feel like, guests are understanding the green story here? Do you think there's anything more we need to do to kind of play that up? I think marketing plays a prominent role in our overall corporate strategy. As a consumer products company, it's all about marketing to our retail partners to get our product on shelf, and then marketing to consumers to get them to look for our product and take it home with them. I'm C.A. Webb. I'm the marketing director at Recycline. The green marketplace is a fascinating one to study. There have been people who've been buying natural and organic, locally produced products forever. But it's really been only the last couple of years that they've become, a mainstream conversation. So, one thing that I say about where we are with green products is that there's typically been a perception that you somehow have to sacrifice something if you're going to choose a natural or green product, that it won't clean as well, that it maybe won't last as long, it won't look as good, or maybe it will even cost more. But what I and my colleagues feel strongly about is that for green products to become part of the mainstream and to really be sustainable, and for companies like ours to be sustainable in producing them, green products have to require no sacrifice. They have to perform as well, they have to look as good, they have to compete on price, but they have to do all of that and do even more. They have to provide a really environmentally meaningful alternative to the stuff we've always known. And I think consumers are wary. People talk about companies, talking more about the green than actually just delivering on the green. And that's a great distinction when you have to say so much to communicate your message rather than just, being able to deliver a product that is, intuitively delivering on that message. You have a problem.
We've sought to have a very innovative approach of really reaching out to our advocates. I'm Eric Hudson, founder and president of Recycline. It's less about the advertising on the television and more about how your web strategy, your email strategy, your in the world strategy of connecting directly with your consumer and answering the questions of the consumer are being performed. We know that the people that use preserved products both care about the earth and care about this change that's going on, that they have a real interest in being a part of it and learning about it. So it creates the uniqueness of our product and story, creates this unique relationship with our users, whether it's personal emails back and forth with our consumers, e-newsletters, ways of tapping their interest in our products, ways of tapping their direction for our products. We really involve our consumers in many ways on our product development and our story development. In addition, one of the biggest things we're doing recently is we're looking to get a lot of relationships that help us get materials directly from consumers. So people that have used a yogurt cup either can send it straight back to Recycline if it makes environmental sense, or by going through their retailer or their university or their buying club, they can facilitate the being part of our supply chain.
So I got another call from a big CPG company that wants to talk to us about potentially working with them to collect their products at end of life. So they're getting more and more concerned about what consumers do with products. Consumers don't want to throw them in landfills anymore, and they're looking at companies like ours that are taking recycled materials, turning them into something, cool, and wondering if we can do that, with their raw materials after their products are recycled.
The biggest thing we need to do is prioritize which relationships make the most sense, not just about the company and the brand and the culture, but also about the materials, what we could actually turn into new products and what is really a reach for us to turn into new products. And I got a call from a balloon manufacturer in New York City after the New York Times article saying, he's making all these balloons out of latex, and he wants us to figure out what we can do with them. And some of those are a real reach. But as we look at our partners calling us and people we've talked to before, whether it's obviously the Methods, Organic Phthalates, the Stony Brook Farms of the world.
I absolutely use strengths, weakness, opportunity, threat on a daily basis in the work I do. So whether it's developing a strategy for a channel, or whether it's thinking about whether or not we bring a new product line to market, going out and doing the competitive research, and understanding where we think the marketplace is going, requires that kind of thinking always. One of the challenges that our company faces is we have a very an unknown brand. It's known in some channels and it's really very much unknown in other channels. So our strategy is really driven by publicity. We're in a very hot space right now, and the media is very interested in what we're doing, and we rely on them to help us tell our story and reach more people. We rely on promotions, trade promotions with our retail partners to help us get our product off shelf and into more interesting places in store, to reach people and surprise them and gain their interest in the retail environment. We're a pretty scrappy upstart company going up against some very big brands, and so our marketing budget is a sort of sliver of what theirs is. So a big part of this year for us has been studying our brand and hiring a really great design firm to help us refresh it and really prepare it for an increasingly sophisticated green consumer. And also help us to play more aggressively in bigger retail environments, and to be able to stand out and tell our story as clearly, succinctly, powerfully as we can. And we're now about 70% of the way through this ultimately strategy project, which turns into a design project. And there are a lot of questions as we, as the founder and I sit down and talk about these new logo concepts and taglines and different creative elements that it's unclear how it's going to play out. It's unclear. We'll certainly do testing. We're certainly using our best knowledge of our consumer in the space and just good gut instincts. But I definitely lay awake at night thinking, is this going to be, is this creative realization of our brand going to be that much better than what we've already done? Will the dollars that we've invested ultimately be the smartest dollars I could have spent this year? And that's a risk you have to take to keep growing, and one I feel comfortable with.